Awesome. Thanks, guys.
No worries.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Okay, let me pull up what I have. Um, so I tried committing the other day, and I was trying to commit. What was I trying to commit? I think booking updates. Maybe something
Yeah,
different.
you included that zip file. Is that what you wanted to have committed in the repository?
Yeah, since then there's some more updates I have to make to it that I just
Okay,
learned about today, but
no problem.
I think I'm trying to open it real quick. Yeah, I think it was the booking IEPD I was trying to push. Um, and so here, let me share my screen and maybe we can walk through this. Does that sound like a good idea?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's better this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, the steps will stick.
Okay, so I'll first show you a little background of what I have locally. So here in my C drive, I have this GitHub
Mhm.
working directory, and that it is linked to this GitHub. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's fine.
to the
Yeah,
GitHub, yeah. So like last time when I just pushed everything, I think I literally just did this. I just pushed it from here.
yeah, that's doable.
Um, Here,
I wouldn't
yes.
recommend doing that.
Yeah, and that's why I
So
kind of wanted to,
yeah,
because the whole like branching thing I've never really done.
no
So
worries.
then
So right now, if you go back to the utility, the GitHub desktop,
this one, yes.
Waqar, do you have this
Yes,
tool installed on your machine?
I think I have.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So if you don't mind, do you see that arrow with the seven in it? The seven number next to it, to its left. Do you
Yes.
see? Yeah, that's telling you there are some changes on the remote branch that are not locally available. So you can click on that one, and
Mm.
it'll bring your repository up to date.
Ah, okay.
And yeah, one thing I like to do is go to history. If you look at history, you'll see some of my changes, some of Jim's changes, and I don't know who else. You
Mm.
probably made some commits as well. Can you go? And then you see here that Dawe
Oh,
made some
yeah.
changes, and ABMSI, that's me. I made some changes. Can you click on? I don't know. I think we changed the same file. So if you click on her change, please. Yeah, okay. She added an Excel file. That's a different file. That's good. That's very good. So now the idea that we want to do, it's going to save you a lot of trouble. Do not make changes directly to the main branch.
Hmm.
If you do this, like 50% of the problems that you will face will go away.
Okay.
So the best way to do this is let's go to the remote repository on GitHub. Let's do that, please. So yeah, go back
Um,
to changes and then go back to the website where the
mm,
repository is.
okay. Oh, okay, so let's go.
Yeah, that one. And here you see where it says the main branch. Do you see that top left? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can click on that one and just start typing a name of a branch that you think is meaningful and useful.
So I had done this IEPD
Oh,
review,
excellent. So
Aiden Delgado.
excellent. That's awesome. So now let's go back to so you're almost there. So let's go back to the GitHub utility, the GitHub desktop.
Hmm.
And then if you see where it says current branch in the middle area,
Yeah.
and yeah, so yeah, click on that one. You see your branch now. So
Okay.
the only thing is, I think it's got changes. If you look in history, because it says this was last changed last month, but so what I would
Oh,
do, the problem is, it looks like you already have some changes in here. Can you make these changes again? maybe.
What do you mean make these changes again?
So the problem is your branch is behind. In fact, do you see where that says select branch to compare? Yes, up that text box area, below.
Changes?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
select branch to compare.
yeah. Now select main. We only have 2 branches anyway. You see, you're behind by 18 commits.
Oh yeah.
So you can do one or two things. You can, in fact, let's do both of them because it's not going to hurt. This is not the main branch, so we're not going to break anything. If the branches, if the commits have been so difficult, it's better to start a new branch. It's cheap. Starting a branch is really cheap. It's always easy to start a new branch, make the changes and all that. However, you can bring this branch up to date by go to branch, please. If you go to the branch menu, do you see where the help? Yes. And then you can say update from main. You can update it from main.
Did I click this?
Yes.
Okay.
And yeah, it's fine. Okay, now all the 18 commits that were not in this branch are now in this branch. So now you just push to origin. Now you can push these changes to the remote branch. They're in your branch locally, but now you can push them up.
So
You see
now
where
I
it
do
says
this.
push? Yeah, push. Yeah, you can click on
Okay,
that
so
button.
this part
Let's
does
click on that.
confuse me. So
Yeah.
you said they exist locally on my
Yes,
desktop
that's right.
and the
But not
remote
on
branch.
not on GitHub. Not in GitHub.
And
All these
I
changes
see.
that you've done are local. They're not in the remote branch yet. So when you do branching, you have many layers of protection from making that protect you from making a mistake. The first thing is you're actually not making changes in the main branch. It's your branch. You're not affecting my work because I'm not working on your branch. You can think of a branch, every feature that you do, every change that you do, every bug fix, anything, create a branch for it. Someone asks you to make a change, create a branch for it. Why? Because main is common, it's for everybody. If we screw up that branch, we screwed it up for everybody. But if we screw up our branch, that's fine. You can do whatever you want. You can delete the whole repository in that branch. That's perfectly fine. It's only a problem when you actually merge it with main. That's why when we merge it with main, we really have to be careful. We have to create a pull request, let everybody know, hey, by the way, I'm about to make these changes. Take a look at the pull request. Do you see any problem with it? It's a layer of defense. So the other layer of defense is you're making changes locally. So even if you screw up, it's still local. Let's say you and I, Aiden, we agreed to work on something together. And we agreed that to use the same branch, not the main branch, but the same branch. It's going to be a bit, if we let's say we work 5 days, we made some changes and all that. And I introduced a change that kind of broke things like in a really bad way. It's not the end of the world, but I've wasted 5 days of our work, right? It's a bit, so, at least I made my branches locally. The fixes, whatever the problems that I did them locally. I have not pushed them to origin. I have not pushed them to the remote branch. But now we're going to push everything to the remote branch because we know none of these changes are just coming from the main branch. So could you push to the main branch, please? To the to the remote branch, not to the main branch, to the remote.
So now I'm pushing up to
the remote
GitHub
branch. To GitHub, exactly, to the GitHub. So the Git is a distributed source control system. You get your branch, I got my branch, I work on mine, you work on yours, and then we get together and merge them, and then we put them in. So this is a critical concept in here. So now if you go back, if you go to GitHub, and if you refresh this page, you can actually switch branches, not refresh, because you have to switch branches. See, there are no changes. That last change was 3 days ago. But now this branch is up to date with main. It's awesome. That's great. So we know what we were working on. Always when you create a branch, always make sure that you are working off the latest changes. Otherwise, you'll have to go back, merge, update from main, Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work.
I
It's
see.
just, yeah, start from the, from where everybody agrees on is the latest, and then we can work. Now you can make whatever changes that you want. My suggestion is make a small change, commit, small change, commit, small change. Like you can
Okay.
break the work. You can conceptually break the work into small chunks. And once you think this is a good enough chunk to commit that one. And if you think it's safe to push to main, excuse me, not push to main, push to the remote branch to GitHub, do that as well. Again, if you're working on your branch, commit often and push often, it's fine, because then your work is saved on the cloud, so it's not going to be lost.
So when I use the term commit, a commit
Mhm.
is from local. Well, a commit is, what's the difference between a commit and a push?
Commit is local.
Commit is only local.
Yeah.
I see.
Commit is doesn't mean you push it. You just commit it locally. But a commit is such an important concept in GitHub. In Git, not GitHub. GitHub is a website, is a software as a service a company around Git. Really, they started in 2008. Microsoft bought them for 21 billion. So it's a
Wow.
big deal. But commit is the unit of work in GitHub. Excuse me, I say that again. In Git, not GitHub. In Git. Git is the program. So
I see.
Git likes commits. It works with commits. Most of the work in Git is commits. When you go to history, it's commits. When you undo something, you undo a commit. When you cherry pick a commit. Most of the work is around commits. And commits, it's a fascinating work. Commit is not necessarily a different copy of the file. You can think of it as a gradual change of the same file. It doesn't save a copy of the file, but it says,
Mhm.
oh, I know what you did. You added this line, you removed this line. That's really it. It just keeps tracks of what changed to the file, and then it can take you from the beginning of time to what it is at today very easily. You can browse that through. It's a powerful system. So yes, commit is a local to wherever the commit is happening. And when you push, you take all that work and then you push it to a server. In this case, it's github.com. It could be Bitbucket. It could be something else. It could be, different flavors. But yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
commit is to my local repository, and then a push is always up to the cloud, I guess. What we're calling here
That's right.
remote.
That's right.
Okay.
And yeah, that's right. So now let's start with our changes, like whatever changes you want to make.
Yeah. So um the changes that I have made are, I mean, this is just a not a remote branch. It's just a branch, so I guess it's fine to push booking or to play with booking as an example for this. Even though it's not up to date, I'm going to have to make more changes. Um, I think it would be good to practice with it.
Okay, that's fine.
So I
So
never work out of here. When I work locally, we use our own repository using Bitbucket.
okay, that's fine.
So let me navigate to my Bitbucket working folder. NOLA repo, IEPDs, and so this is my booking IEPD. As you see, my last change was 6/11. Um, actually, it was sooner than that. There you go, 6/13. So yesterday.
Okay.
But since then, I have to make some changes. But regardless, let's try and put these over here somehow.
Okay, so the changes that you have from Bitbucket into GitHub.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So how do you typically do that? So by the way, that README file is problematic because it's a default README. If you can exclude it, that will be fantastic. I
Yeah.
think. If can you open it? I think
The
it's
yeah, it's nothing.
yeah. If you can exclude it, that's fine. It just doesn't look good when we tell
Yeah, I
people
agree.
to.
Okay. the idea was to create like a brief, and then maybe this is something I'll work on, but for this commit, I leave it out. I do want to create like a small snippet of this is an IEPD, this is how it works, this is the standards.
Yeah, that's a
Here,
great
here,
idea. I think that's a great idea. And I think I will find that very helpful.
yeah.
Yeah. So you can leave it
Mm,
empty for now if you want, so that you don't have to worry about the file. Like you don't have to exclude it every time. But the problem is when we put it there, some people will really get confused and say, "Oh, why is he telling me here? Why do I clone?" Because they look at README as the like something, something that ought to be read. But in this case, it's just we know
mm,
it's not what we wanted. It's not the final thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, okay, but for sure, these 3 files are new.
Right.
So,
So you can copy and paste now. It's fine.
okay, so I'm gonna copy these guys, paste over here.
And Git is smart enough to, if there is no difference, it's not gonna complain. It's not gonna anything like that. So now, could you go back to the GitHub for desktop utility?
Yes.
And now if you look under changes, and then you can just see, do they make sense to you? I think they make sense so far in this file, I think. But you
Yeah.
can browse each one and see if it makes sense to you.
Mm,
And then this is, I believe, in my opinion, this is a good chunk of work to make it as one commit. And then you can say, these are the changes to the XML schema, booking XML schema. And that's good enough that it can go in as one commit.
okay, so then summary, I'm going to say
Yeah.
this is what you're referring to, right? I'm gonna
Yes,
say
yes, yes.
booking updates. I mean, that's kind of vague. Of course, it's booking updates.
I mean,
Booking
it's yeah.
IEPD. Mm,
By the way,
remove
that's the
arrest
hardest part. That's the hardest
elements.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Removed arrest elements from um, from XSD and propagated changes. I'll just say carried. Carried changes throughout IEPD. Removed arrest element from booking XSD and carried changes throughout IEPD. Okay.
Looks good to me. You can commit that.
So now it was existing only here, and now it's existing locally, still here, but within
So what the
GitHub.
stage that you were in before you made the commit,
Hmm.
it's called the working directory, it's the modified stage. When you
Mm,
actually this utility hides something in the middle. It's called the staging area. And then the final stage where it's at right now, it's a commit. So if you look under history, it's now you have commit. It's not in remote yet. You can exit that change, that
mm.
compare. You can, yeah, or you can. So yeah, you can exit. So now you have everything, all the history you have here. So now that's your change right here, and yeah, these are that's one commit. And now if you push it up, it'll go to the remote. If you're ready for it, you can push it up.
Okay. Should I do that?
Yeah, why not? It doesn't hurt. Again, this is your branch. You
Yeah.
can do whatever you want.
One thing
The,
that
the only
I'm
thing that
curious.
you,
Okay.
you want we have to be careful about is if we ever work with sensitive things, once you commit it and once you push it to the remote server, it's really, really hard to undo that because the history doesn't go away. In Git, you can't mess with history. It's really, really, really difficult to mess with history.
Mm,
So you just have to be careful with that one. Let's say maybe I think this is probably more on us programmers than you, is we usually deal with like passwords and things like that. It's a really bad idea to put passwords in these kind of files. But maybe there's that in on your end as well. When we all have to be careful. Yeah.
Okay. One thing I'm curious about is, and this actually ran into this with Bitbucket, is one of the domains. Yeah, you see the screening domain?
Yeah.
That's actually a carryover. So that's something I need to be aware of too, because I actually deleted this file from my Bitbucket,
But it just keeps.
but it stayed there. So when I copied and pasted everything over, obviously the screening was always there. So I was like, oh, nothing changed. So it kept it.
Yeah, yeah. So when we, yeah, that's exactly right. When we copy over, it's not going to delete the existing.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, that's something good I should know about.
So now
I see
you
it now.
deleted the file, right?
Yes.
So can you go back to GitHub and GitHub this one? Because I don't see it. Ah, yes, now it shows up as a change. So now you can commit this one because I think it's obvious. You deleted the file. Even the description, the summary says delete,
Yeah.
which makes sense. You can add a description if you want to say why it's deleted, or you can just say no longer used. Yeah, that makes sense. And then you can commit. The reason
Awesome.
why it's a good idea to think of chunks of work is because sometimes you will be in a situation where you want to undo that change. And if you break the work logically into units that go together, it's very easy. You can go to history, please. And now think of that work that not the last commit, but that one commit. Think of it as one logical unit. You say, no. I really didn't mean to do that. It's very easy to undo that change. You can right click on it. No,
Oh, wow.
yeah, undo commit, or yes, you can undo commit. There is also something called revert commit. And if you break the work into in such a way that, yes, you can revert, that's better than undo commit. In fact, if you right click on that one, the subs on the commit below, but before this one, before the last,
The
no,
reorder?
don't do it. No. Right click on the other commit. So exit this menu, or right click on the one below it.
I see what you're saying.
Yes, you see, there is no undo this commit. There is only revert this changes in commit. What happens is Git is smart enough to do the changes in reverse. And if you make your work in such a way that, yes, this is a logical unit, these set of changes go together, that's very useful for you. That will help you if you ever need to revert the changes. But if you make the changes haphazardly, most of the time it's fine, because most of the time we don't want to revert. But there will be times when you actually want to revert, and then you have to say, oh, I need to revert this change in here, and this commit, this change in this commit, this change. It becomes messy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So now,
because
yeah, if you want to make more changes, yeah, go
I
ahead,
have
please.
experience with this only in Word documents, but they have like
Yeah.
the revert changes. When you use OneDrive.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So now we can make more changes, right?
Yes. Before we continue, I have a question. When we first started this discussion, we talked about there's two ways to do it. One way is, and then the way we chose was using the commands up here to commit.
To push changes or
but
to
that's
commit?
Fine. I don't know, but we started off the conversation with saying there's two different ways to do this. And then I'm assuming one was going to be using this utility tool, and maybe the other you were going to suggest was using like these prompts. Maybe.
I do not like those ones. I do not like that ones. The reason why I don't like those is because it really hides what you want. It's useful It's
Yeah, I didn't show you
convenient,
this.
but you really want it before you commit, even though it's to your branch, even though it's local, it's better to monitor changes at each step. This way, it's less likely that you make a
Yeah, it's
big
safer.
unintended change inadvertently. So
Okay.
it's better if you make. I'm a really big fan. The other way that I think it's a bit cumbersome is using a command line. You get more control. You get to really be cautious, but it's a bit overwhelming. I think this utility just gives you exposes enough of Git for you to do useful work without being too overwhelming.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree. No, this is nice. I've never used this utility before.
Yeah, I use it all the time, and believe me, it works for like 99% of the things that I need to do. I do not
Oh,
need to
awesome.
mess with Git because I just need to do exactly what you're doing. Make my changes, make sure that they're the changes I want to make, push them, and so on. That's it. When you deal with multiple branches, you want to update from some branch compared to branches. Those kind of things are useful
Yeah.
as well.
Okay.
At the end, I'll show you a utility that I think will help you. You already probably have it. I think so. If you do Command Alt A, try
from
that.
where?
Yeah, from here, from GitHub for desktop. Yeah, this utility. Yep.
Command Alt A.
Or yeah, Control Alt A.
Oh, Control Alt A.
I think that's maybe not. You can right click. You can go to View. Do you see that where it says View? Maybe File. I never know what the maybe Edit. Sorry,
Select
maybe a
all?
repository. Maybe a repository.
Or
You see where it
Control
says
Shift A?
here? Yes, open it. So it opens this folder for you automatically, and I find this such a time saver. Is it Command
yeah.
Alt A? No,
It was
Command
Control
Shift.
A.
Control
Shift A. Yeah. Close.
See, I muscle memory. I don't really know what it is, but if I touch the
Yeah.
keyboard, I will know what it is.
Cool. And so this is just now showing me in.
Yeah. This is just an editor that you can make changes here if you want. You can make it also has a built-in Git utility. You can like make a change, any change you want. You can undo it. It's okay.
Okay. Let's just do something easy. Here we'll change this to arrest test.
Sure. All right. And then you can save it. Now,
Okay.
notice that that icon all the way to the left, how it has one in a circle.
Right here.
All the way to the left. Yes, that's a source control plugin. You can click on it. It actually kind of similar to that utility. It's kind of the same. You can double click on the don't commit. You can click on it, double click on the file itself. It says annotated. It will show you the diff between this and that. Do you see the undo icon next to it? You can see that one.
One of these?
You can revert a single line if you want.
Oh,
But
you mean
all the way
this?
to the left. Yes, you can discard that changes because we want to
I
discard this.
see.
That's just another way because sometimes I find this useful. This one, again, what that GitHub for desktop, what it does for you, it does. So we are now in what's called Git calls it working directory because you make changes, it's working, it's modified, it's not staged yet. So if you want to make, sometimes you don't want to commit everything that you changed in one commit. You want to split them. So you pick and choose the changes that you want, the files that you want to commit into what's called a staging area. So that's that's an area in the middle. And then once you're happy with your staging area, then you can commit them. That's the final area. Okay. So, but now we don't want to stage them. We want to discard that change. You don't want to. This is just a test change, right? You don't want to.
Because if I were to stage it, how is that different than a commit?
It's what it is. It's not a commit yet. It's ready to be committed, but it's not yet committed. And the reason why you want to do that is, let's say you make a changes to 10 files. And again, go back to that logical unit of work. You really want to make, in your mind, I want to make the images in one commit and the XMLs in one commit. Let's say this is something that you want to do. Or you want to say, I want to change the example in one commit. I want to change the actual XSD in another commit. I want to separate these commits. So you move some files into staging, and then you commit those.
You commit what's staged only.
Yeah, you commit staged only.
Oh.
And there are other, yeah, and there are other things, and you can continue working on it. You can even like gradually make changes to it and so on and so forth. But yeah, that's why it's not often used. That's why GitHub for desktop hides that middle.
Yeah.
For you. It just for it is modified or committed. There is no something in the middle, but it does exist, and it's useful sometimes. You don't want to stage these changes. You want to discard these changes. I can, yes.
Perfect.
Now it's gone. Those changes are gone. So I just wanted to tell you about this. This is a great editor, and it's got a Git tracker in it as well. So you can make changes and then immediately see the changes that you're making. And also it's got extensions. It's got an extension for XML. So you can, it's XML aware. And yeah, so.
Okay, perfect. I like that.
So are there other changes that we want to make to this directory or to this?
No, so I think for this test purposes, I think that's good because I haven't even made the final ones.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So let's suppose we're not going to do this yet, but let's suppose that we want to merge these back into main. What you can do is, do you see where it says GitHub is smart enough to know that you have commits in this branch that are not in main? What should we do with them? Should we leave them in that branch, or should we, most of the time you want to put them back in main so you can compare and pull request. So you can click, do you see that button right there?
Compare and pull.
Yes. What this will do is it will give you a form where you can create a pull request. So go ahead and it's okay. And it tries to give it a title for the pull request. And sometimes it's a good idea to put a description, but also you can ask reviewers. You can say, that's me, ABMSI, that's me. You can ask Waqar and Dawe. You can say, hey, please take a look at this PR. I want to merge these changes. I want you all to be aware of these changes so no one is surprised. And you can look, if you scroll down, it will give you a diff. These are the commits that went into making these, and the diff under. So we as reviewers can say, oh, this makes sense. Yeah, I have no issue with this change. Or I didn't expect this change. Did you really want to make this change? Or why is this change? And so on and so forth. So we get to review it, and if there are no issues, we give you a thumbs up. If not, we give you some feedback if we think there is something that needs to be looked at.
So then I would
say
that's
what I mean by a pull request. You can create a pull request, but I would suggest that you add reviewers first. You can add me. That suggestion is useful. Usually, the most frequent committers are added, even though I really don't know a whole lot about the schema. You can assign yourself to it, but you can add
Dawe just for a test.
Yeah, but she's not here. She's traveling, right? She's not gonna
she'll be gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Add Joe or Waqar.
There we go. I'll add everyone. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And who's Mission Critical TD? Oh,
Tracy?
Tracy, yeah. Okay. Jim. Cool. Okay.
Yeah, cool. And now we have it's usually a good idea to have some description if you have Is this going to be a
Oh,
real
yeah.
pull request or is it just a change?
Let's. I mean, we can add it. The only
Okay,
thing I'm
yeah.
going to be modifying is I'll be adding 2 new elements
Yeah.
and then propagating that change through. But this is still a more up to date one.
Okay, yeah. So this is going to be useful. We can review this and say, yeah, it looks good. And
Okay, so I'll say we yeah, removed arrest and court case elements that were not pertinent to the booking exchange. Okay, I think that's a good exchange description. Are you there?
sorry, I was on mute and I was saying
Oh, no,
you
no
can tag
worries.
you can tag people as well, but it's up to
Oh,
you.
I'm
You can do a bunch of things. It's yeah, there you go. You can Joe will get an email say, hey, take a look. You've been mentioned.
gonna tag
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah. So now you can create the pull request. It's not created yet. So you can create a draft so that they don't get the email. It's saved until you actually save it.
Oh, okay,
But
cool.
yeah, but I would suggest that you create the pull request so that they get a chance to look at things.
And then in the description, actually, I'm gonna add this is an official pull request because all this is public, so I
Yeah.
I want to be
You mean this is an official or unofficial?
well, it is official, right? Or are we gonna
Oh,
deny
okay, okay.
this?
Yes, yes, okay. That's
It's an
true. That's
official
true.
pull request. However, this this PR was used for training purposes, thus includes multiple reviewers to gain experience with
Hold on.
GitHub. GitHub what? Procedure process? GitHub
Sure. Yeah, sure.
system. For reviewers to gain experience with GitHub system. I think just with GitHub is fine.
Sure. Yeah. It's known.
Okay. All right. So now I will say create
And
pull
you may want to
request.
say this is work in progress. You can either
Oh
add it
yeah.
in the title. So nobody should merge it yet. Please do not merge. This is still work in progress. So, you know, um, sometimes we are eager to say, oh, this looks good to me. I'm gonna merge it. But not really. This is work in progress. Typically the person who opens the pull request should merge the pull request, not like not willy-nilly merge. Because you're the one who's knowledgeable about this. You're the one who knows, is it ready or is it not ready?
Got it.
Yeah. So yeah,
Cool.
because
So
again, we want to protect the main branch. We don't want to mess with the main branch. We just want to be really careful.
so for this pull request, let's say I finish adding those 2 elements.
Hmm?
And then I can push to this same pull request, or will that be a
Yeah.
completely new
As
pull request?
no, as soon as you push to the same branch, it's gonna be in that pull request.
Okay,
It's automatic. It'll automatically, as long as you are in that branch, it's automatically in this pull request.
understood. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So
you can always go back and see. Obviously, you want to say yourself. You're going to be the final reviewer, right? Because you're the one who's going to merge. You want to make sure that you got all your commits, all your changes, all your files that you intended to change, and all that.
okay.
Yeah.
So now create pull request.
Yep. All right. So now you see it now gives you a nice view. You have 2 commits.
Mm-hmm.
You see where that says 2 commit in the tab up
Yeah.
there.
Oh, right here. I see.
And then, yeah, that makes sense. You can even click on that one commit to see what that one commit did. That's why, unit of work is useful, because you can just see what that commit did. Then you can see all the files that have been changed. There are 8 files that have changed in this commit.
Wow. So then someone's going to read this. I can even read it. And then we would say close pull request if it's approved.
Yes. So let me show you
Otherwise,
the email that I got. Let me show you quickly the email that I got.
okay.
Just 1 second. So as soon as you created the pull request, it says here, the description in here, I got a notification. It says mission critical 1. Created this pull request and the number and whatnot. Gives me all the files, and then it gives me a link to the pull request. So I go here, I click on it, and looks here. So I can say وقار should please take a look. Thanks. Critical. It says comment. Or I can say I can start the review changes. I can say and I can add here it's just a comment. I haven't approved it yet. I can request a change if one is needed. But that's hopefully this is where I want us to go. Is I want us to be in especially as this is a lot of work that you guys spend a lot of time on. We don't want anybody to come in and make changes to the XML willy-nilly. I think we ought to be thoughtful about any changes we make in here. So any change that it's got to involve you and Joe and Carl, especially if I make the changes, because I really don't know. You guys know. So you know what I mean? You're on mute, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I was talking. I agree.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, so then we went over, we created that pull request. Oh, where's it? And now if it was me or someone, I can merge it or someone else can merge it.
Yeah, you can merge it. We can configure this repository in such a way that only you can merge it. Only the one who opened the pull request can merge it. But also in such case, we have to make a change so that only you can merge it after 1 or 2 more people
Reviewed.
reviewed it and approved it. And I think we ought to go into that direction. It's a balance, right? We don't want to hinder ourselves by saying, "Oh, we have to have this number of reviewers," but at the same time, we don't really want to. If we get new people on, they're not. If they, you know,
Yeah.
we have to be careful. We don't want we have to be careful about making changes in this repository, not because we don't trust each other, but because we really want to that layer of protections. We have
Yeah.
the multiple layers, but also we want to make sure that we protect ourselves from making silly changes. Sometimes you introduce a space here and there, not caught in review or whatnot. But anyway, you can go back to the GitHub. I want to show you something in the GitHub for desktop utility. You can see that now this branch is tied to that pull request number 5. So it just yeah, you can even go from you can go from branch, actually pull request. You can see this says pull requests. Yeah, you can actually, yeah, there you go. You can click on that one. It'll take you to your pull request. I think it did. I think it does. Maybe not. I know there's a way where you can go to the pull request.
Oh,
yeah. Oh,
wait,
interesting.
no. Okay, and then so it's showing me my pull request. The number 5 is what? What does that mean?
It's the pull request number 5.
Number 5
That's
open.
yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
By the way, what just happened is you opened that deleted file in Visual Studio Code. So you can go back to Visual Studio Code
Yeah.
and then just exit this file without saving it. Don't save.
Oh,
There you go.
interesting.
Right.
Okay, and so then, okay, yeah, go ahead.
No. Whatever changes you want to make now.
Okay, great. So then, so this makes sense. I know how to go from local change, commit it to a GitHub locally, and then from there I
So
push it
you
to the
go
cloud.
from a local change to a local commit to a remote commit.
Oh, local commit to remote commit. Gotcha. Okay. And then if I want to add something new, so the only way I know how to add is from, that's not the right one, is from here. That's this one. So let's say I'm going to do a different IEPD. Let's say the next one is citations. I would copy this over, but then I would go here and I would do tortoise git add.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
How would you recommend? Because
so what I would recommend is go back to your Visual Studio Code. You already have your repository, you already have your branch. You're ready to make, if you go back in this one, and then now if you can collapse all, you see where it says collapse all, you see that button to the up, just 2 lines up, all the way to the right now.
right
No,
here.
no. You can close all these editors. That's fine. You can close all. No, not the way, all the way to the right. Scroll down.
Down
Yeah,
more?
no. Do you see those 3 icons all the way to
Oh,
the
yeah.
right? Yes, you can close all editors. Yeah, go ahead, just to clean the area. Now, scroll down a little bit, just one bit. Yes, now collapse all.
Oh,
Yeah,
collapse.
okay. Now, this is a view of the GitHub repository, but locally, right?
In my branch.
In your branch, exactly. And Visual Studio Code will help you. Do you see all the way in the bottom left corner? All the bottom left corner. Do you see the name of the branch?
Oh, this is what I was looking for.
This,
Okay.
yes, this will save you mentally. You can make sure that you check, am I working on the right branch? Okay. And you can, that's a visual aid for you to say, okay, yeah,
Good.
that's. And so let's say you want to add a new schema. So under the schemas folder, and you can add a new folder now. By the way, folders, if they're empty, they're not checked into GitHub. GitHub does not keep track of them. Excuse me, not GitHub. Git will not keep track of them. But now you can add a folder. Let's say you can add a folder. That's fine.
Okay, let's
Give
just
it a
call it
name. Any name.
test.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's fine. That's fine. Now, go ahead. If you go back to the GitHub for desktop utility, you'll see no changes whatsoever. Because empty folders are not tracked. And now you can add a file here. You can add an empty file. It's perfectly fine. By the way, yeah, exactly. There you go. Now you can give it any name you want. It's fine. It doesn't have to have content. You can go back. You see how that Visual Studio Code changed the color to green to tell you this is a file that is untracked. This is a one stage in Git where untracked, that means it's not even added to the Git index. So now you can go to, you can work from here if you're comfortable with working from here. But I really like that utility. I like to do the editing here and then go back to the in here. And then you can,
Oh,
if you
there it
want to
is.
add this file, you can then add it. And if
And
you
it's
add it, it will show up in your pull request. So I wouldn't add this file. If you really don't want it, I wouldn't add it. But if you have real changes that you want to make, you can make them in the repository
yeah,
without doing do it in one place and do it in another place and all that.
gotcha. Okay, and then so if I wanted to add this here, I would make this comment and then I commit and then it's officially
Yep.
added.
It locally, yes.
Locally, yeah,
Locally,
locally
yes.
added. And then I'd have to do a commit remote or a push for the
Push.
cloud. Push.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
And okay, so this makes sense. I like that. Using this to add. If I wanted to rename this and do underscore IEPD, is
If you
there
want, you can do that. So this is a really good question because the editor sometimes is not in sync with Git. If you make a change, go ahead and make a change. We can undo it. It's not a problem.
okay?
See what's going to happen. Now go back to GitHub. You see how many changes?
Yeah.
That's insane. Like you just changed one file. That's not good, right?
Yeah.
So this is one situation where Git commands are useful. So you can right click on all of this and discard changes. If you right click on the top where it says changes,
Mhm.
all the way at the top, right click on that one, and then discard
Discard all.
all changes. Yeah. It's gonna say, yeah, that's fine. Discard. Yeah, you can. I don't know why it's. Can you click on it? I think it just it's not. Can you click on one change? Yeah, no content changes. So it's just yeah, that's weird. You can,
Discarded.
yeah, you can discard it again. So it's not really nothing's.
Okay.
Yeah. So now let's go back to your let's go back here to your editor. Actually, no, you stay here, stay here. Do you see where it says branch or repository? I forgot what it is. Let's try either one of them. I'm not the menu. No,
Oh,
no, sorry, the menu. It says open in command prompt. Yes, that's what we want. Open in command. Now let's do git status. I'm going to show you a few commands. This is really one of
space.
the, yes, please.
Okay.
Excellent. So all is well. I like git status. Always do git status. If you have nothing to do in the world, just do git status.
Okay.
And then do dir, dir. All right. We want to, so which folder we want to change? CD into schema, please. CD schemas. CD space schemas.
Oops, I spelled it wrong.
That's fine. You can tab, by the way. You don't have to type it all.
Oh,
And do dir again. So now we want to change from booking. But we cannot do that because we already have two.
directories. Yeah.
So which one is which?
I think this top one is the original.
And so we want to delete this one, do we not?
So we want to delete the underscore one.
We want to delete it.
Yeah, because I think this underscore one is, I think it's just leftover. Not
Okay.
leftover, but it's like.
Okay. So what do we have in Git? That's a good question. Now let me see what we have in Git.
Oh, look. When I did that, it created. Oh,
Yeah. So
it duplicated,
yeah.
but
So
locally.
yeah. So if you can you go back to that one? This is weird. So if you go, can you go back? It's just an empty folder now. If you take a look at it, please. If you look
Which
at
one?
the underscore, it's empty. It should all be empty. Yes,
Oh,
they should
yeah.
all be empty.
It's just the folder structure, though.
They're just the folder structure. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So then we can delete the underscore one.
You can delete the underscore. You can
Sure.
what you can do is you can do go back to the command prompt, please, and do just 1 second. I'll show you something. rmdir remove directory rmdir space /s /s space, and then we want to delete the underscore, right? The underscore directory, right? Booking.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So go ahead and do b booking underscore tab.
Underscore tab.
Yeah, I mean hit tab.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go. All right. So now do that.
are you
Are you
sure?
sure? Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay.
I verified it's empty. Makes
It's
sense.
okay. We are in our branch. We can undo. It's not a problem. We're in Git. So, all right. So because they're all empty directory, this command worked. If they were not empty, you could not do it.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. That's why it's safer than, like I find it safer than. So now suppose that we want to change this. So the command that to do that, change the name, by the way, are we sure we want to do underscore? I thought we are good with the.
Um, the only reason I chose underscore was
Yeah,
because
we have
that's
underscore.
that's how I started naming the
No
hold
worries.
on, in booking.
Yeah, I saw XML underscore schema.
Yeah, like booking underscore class diagram.
Yeah,
Um,
but we have one without namespace, without underscores.
yeah, court order. I need a change still.
No, in that same folder we have.
Oh yeah,
Anyway,
but I think there's a versioning problem where when I push something. So
yeah.
watch if I go back to here, I think these two files are the same.
Uh,
And I think when I just renamed or maybe I changed
maybe a
it
different
locally
version
on
of the.
mine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe that copy
something's
and
weird.
paste and all that. I'll tell you what happened. No, I know what happened. Having spaces in the names creates problems, especially for Jim. He cannot link to it. He has to make. He has. You see that funny characters in the URL? Dollar
Yeah.
percentage sign 20, that's in lieu of the spaces, because it really spaces are not good in file names, believe it or not. They just
Mm,
create havoc. So it's better not to underscore dash whatever, no spaces.
okay.
So yeah, but now let me show you a command I think that you'll find useful. If you go back, let's say you want to do underscore instead of dash. So git git rn, I think. Let me see. So
One
git
or
space.
get.
No,
Oh, okay.
space rn, and then booking underscore tab.
Oh, it gives me an error. It doesn't allow me to press tab.
It's got
But
to.
it when I press tab, I just hear a ring.
Try again. Oh no, there is no underscore anymore. Like we deleted it already. So
Oh,
dash.
gotcha.
Yeah. So now do space booking dash.
Booking underscore.
You can, yeah, if you want to type the whole thing, that's fine. Yes, excellent. Now hit enter. Okay, so it's not rn, it's mv. It's moved. So you can
Oh,
do
okay.
command. You can do don't type it again. No, don't type it again. Delete. Do the up arrow. Click on the yeah. Now go back to the beginning and then delete.
From here.
Backspace. Yeah. Okay. mv. Yep.
And now enter.
I think this works. Maybe we need to make adjustment. No, let's not try again. So name it. No, let's not try again. No. So what you want to do is say no. Can you go up one arrow? And then this time we're gonna put a forward slash in the begin at the end, right there at the end. No, at the end. Yes. After that one, forward slash,
/.
and then at the end also forward slash.
Enter.
Yeah, let's try that. Failed. Okay, say no. We'll try one more thing. One more thing. And then up one arrow, and then delete the last back forward slash. And let's try it. All right, name failed. Okay, delete the other. So leave the one at the end. It has to work somehow. But you see why I use this utility. I do not use it.
Yeah.
Name folder.
Yeah, typically what I do is I'll just right click here.
Yeah, the
Towards
problem is there's a problem with this one is that it loses history. It's not a
rename. I see.
oh, okay. So now you what you did is so we okay, now we okay. We did that one. Can we okay, remove the first backslash and leave the last one. I don't think this will work, but it's worth. No, this one is fine.
Oh,
The
I'm
last one we
sorry.
already tried.
I
We're
get
trying all the permutations.
got it. Whoops.
This one. It's not gonna let you select that one.
Why can't I delete? Oh, there we go. And then oh,
This actually should work. I don't know why it's not.
add this one.
Oh, I know why. I know why. Say no. Say no. It's fine. Do dir. Do dir.
Oh,
No, that's fine. Do dir. Oh, okay. Do dir. No. Do get status. Get status. Hmm. That's interesting. Um, we did try the move for name. Can you just make it a really simple name, like even a one letter name? Try it. It's
sure.
got to work.
With forward slash where?
No, no slashes. You
Slash.
just
Okay.
make it, for example, booking. It really. Okay. How about the other one? If you make it if you make it in quotes, the first name with the dash in between. Oh, why does it say? Oh, okay. Can you make that the booking dash IEPD in quotes? A quote before B and quote after D. No, I don't know why this isn't working. The only thing, if you were willing to try one more thing, is you can go up a couple of arrows and yeah, here, and then
Mhm.
do a dot forward slash in between before the booking IAPD.
Oh, I see.
Dot forward slash. No, not here. You can do it here. That's fine. But the most important one is the one before it. Dot forward slash. You have to do dot before it. Yes. Yeah, I know it's not really easy to navigate in this.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why it's not. Because it's saying
Because
failed. Are you sure you don't? We just deleted things here, so not really sure why it says permission denied. Makes no sense to me why it says permission denied. Not sure. One thing that you can do is you can do a start menu. Like hit the start menu and do a CMD, just stop CMD. And right click on that and run as administrator. Gonna ask you, are you sure? Okay, now we are admin. So now you can copy the directory from the old command prompt. You can just copy that one.
And here,
And then type CD. 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 And then hit the right button on your, the left. No, the right, sorry, the right button on your mouse. Space, space, space. Yes, there you go. And hit enter.
do I delete the greater than
Yes, yes,
sign?
please. Yes, 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 please. Good idea. Good call. Okay, now let's try this git command one more time. Git mv. Yeah, you can copy that as well. Or you can type it. Git mv booking and hit tab.
It's easier to just
Just do b tab. Do b tab. Trust me. B tab.
B. Oh wait, B tab.
Tab. There you
Oh,
go. And then space and then
space.
B tab again. And then change the dash to underscore. Go back too far.
Yeah. Okay, but this should work.
Go for it. Yeah.
Ooh,
Okay.
no.
Yeah. Should I try again? No, it's not a permission issue. It's a syntax issue. One thing that you can do is that you can close all the files that you have open, like Visual Studio, close it. If you have any files, yeah, close this guy. Yeah, if you open that directory in another program, if you think like you can right click on Explorer and close all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So now try that again. Yes, excellent. Good call.
Oops.
There you go. Now
Oh,
that
wait, it
works.
said.
So now no, it worked because it was open in another process was now you see the kind of changes, they make sense. If there are no changes, no files deleted, this is a much better approach because what happens is you preserve
Oh,
history. You preserve history this way.
yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Cool. So then if I go here, I'll just say,
Yeah, renamed folder from that to this. Just, please, no spaces in file names. Please, please.
yeah, no, that's good to know. Then I'm going to say this. Use command prompt to change.
That's
Very,
right.
very important.
Yeah.
Change name. Okay, commit.
So what's nice about this commit is that let's say we don't like the renaming. You can go back and change it. That one commit. It's just the renaming commit. There's nothing else in this commit. So if you revert it, you just revert the renaming.
That is really nice.
Yeah. So now you can push, and then we'll make sure that our pull request is updated. So you push up.
Okay, so I'm going to push.
Go back to your GitHub. I thought it works, but I don't know.
See.
Now you see it says 3 commits and 32
yeah.
files changes. And if you look at the changes, it'll sound scary, but look at the changes. And then you can make it slightly bigger, the window. You can see that it says here that it has a helpful arrow next to it, it says it just moved. You can click on one of those files where it says the renaming happened, like XML_schema,
Oh yeah, right
you
there.
know,
I see.
file name without changes. Yep, that's exactly right. So as a reviewer, it'll help me. I said, oh, okay, I don't want to. But if you had copied, if you renamed it in, let's say Explorer or an editor, it will delete the old and add them as new, and then I'm confused. Did you just delete them and re-add them under a different name, or was there actual legitimate change? What should I do as a reviewer? Now you helped me a lot. You made my work as a reviewer from 30 minutes into like a few seconds. This is a renaming. It's not a big deal. It's just a renaming. I'll move on.
Yeah, I like that. That was really nice.
Cool. And then we got an email, by the way. We got a notification that you made some changes, so that, you know, it's good to know.
Okay, sweet.
All right, gentlemen. I'm happy to chat more on Monday. If you want to chat more about GitHub, I'm happy to chat or anything else. So let me know.
That was great.
No worries.
All right. Thanks.
Yes, thank you
No
so much.
problem.
I'm gonna make
No
some
problem.
notes here for myself for those command lines, and then before I
Yes,
forget.
it's a good idea. Yeah, save those, especially the move. I completely forgot about files that are being used. Even a single file in the directory that you're trying to rename will block the renaming. And the message is not really intuitive. It just says, in Linux, it's not a big deal. In Windows, it's a big deal because Windows blocks you from making any changes to a file that's currently being in use by another process. So that's why it was failing.
I see.
All right. All right,
Okay,
gentlemen,
well, thank you
have
so
a good
much for your
weekend.
time, AB. Yes, you
No
too.
problem. Anytime.
Very helpful.
Anytime.
Yeah, that was
See ya.
great. Well, Car, is that good?
All right.
Have any questions?
Yes, definitely have questions. Abdulaziz, you can go ahead. You can just log out. I just have a quick one on the. I
No
just
problem.
could not find. I couldn't find a way to solve that. The blocks. You know those. I couldn't find. I think there's my problem with my extension file or something like that.
Oh, for the IE.
Yeah, the one. Yeah, you remember you put those question marks where they came from? I could not figure out because I tried to fix them. I can't. So I think it's basically it's my extension.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
Let me stop recording.
Okay.